Hello again and welcome back to another bulb log video diary garden walk. I've been trying to show you all the different sequences through the season or through the year, but I've actually missed at least 2, maybe 3 of the sequences out due to inappropriate weather, bad weather, or just other things going on in my life that required my time. So here's another one for just now, looking at one of those glorious periods in the garden that I call the weedy garden, the weedy gardener. And this is not to be derogatory, but the weedies are the ones that seed around, the volunteers. Many of them just arrive, unannounced, uninvited. But I tend to welcome such plants, having spent my life struggling to grow rare and wonderful plants from far-flung places. You learn to appreciate more those plants that actually grow for you and will tolerate the ever-changing conditions we're going through. And then you can enjoy those, and the garden can be punctuated by the little ones from far-flung places, the little exotics from the Himalayas or from the southern hemisphere or the Arctic or the high mountains. One really good if you're starting out, or even if you're not starting out, I recommend to you Erinus alpinus. It's a great little plant, it's easy, it seeds around, and it flowers every year. It seeds everywhere, but you can easily remove it if you don't want it. And the various troughs are really starting to see a flush of growth. Another campanula there. Up here there's a wee dark flowered dianthus, quite a few dianthus around. Come around here, the ever present Welsh poppy. I don't know why it was called the Welsh poppy, but it used to be Meconopsis cambricum. I think it's now it's a papavore now, they've decided, so it's some kind of poppy. It doesn't worry about what it's called. I don't worry about what it's called. We all know what I'm speaking about. And the dactyl rhizos, a few years ago, well, it's happened more than once in the 40, 50 years or so we've been growing this plant, where it's been killed out by the Black Death. If you grow this plant, you maybe for any length of time, you're probably familiar with the Black Death, where you get black spots on the leaves or the stem, and it eventually kills the plant. It's also another black form, a fungal bacterial type of pathogen that also attacks the tuber. But my method is to allow those that survive to seed, and by a process of natural selection, I hope we'll eventually have a population of plants that are at least resistant. So up here in the bulb bed, this bulb bed is, bulbs are all grown. The evidence of the bulbs is just out there. We can see over there. If I can zoom in on them maybe. That's not them. Where are they? Oh, there. I can't find them in this zoom now. Ridiculous. I'm looking for the fritillaria seed pods. They are in there, I can assure you. But we've got the aconites, the white, creamy white aconites. We've got the deep, dark coloured aconite, the yellow doronicums. Have another go at zooming and searching. There we go. Doronicum. And then another aconite there. The wee similar colour down amongst there, the delphiniums. And you see the remains of leaves of many of the bulbs. Yes, you'll also see there the commonly called cow parsley, Anthriscus sylvestris, a lovely umbellifer. I really like it in the garden. And just this wilderness. Silene. All the wildflowers that normally people would see and admire maybe in the hedgerow or the fields, but not think to take into their house. But here you can see some of the anthrysticus still in the shady bit flowering. Stems have got battered over by the weather, but it still turns up and flowers. Getting closer to the Doronicums. Very cheery, like little sunflowers pop up. And there's what I was trying to focus in on, zoom in on earlier, the seed pods of the Fritillaria imperialis. And of course that magnificent spike of the foxglove. And closer by another of the aconites, the monkshood. This is the one with these real hoodie. Will that focus? Or is it focusing on the background? I'll put my hand there and that will. No. There we go. Really nice. So there's two kinds of aconites together there. I'll just go back round through the jungle. The wee Myosotis, forget-me-nots, as if I could forget the erythroniums that are in that bed now gone down. So at some point I want to get in and start repotting them to lift the baskets and refresh the soil a wee bit that they grow in. Make them nice and big and vigorous. So let's head off around this way. Got the big bag of the rubbish because I've been doing some cutting back earlier. Found the box where I've been soaking before we've had a bit of rain recently, but I like to give these bigger bonsais, to give them a really good soak. I sit them in that bath, and I haven't put it away because the wee birdies are enjoying it. More dactylorizas, all self-seeded, and they're the ones that are doing well. So having gone right down in numbers this last year, the numbers are slowly starting to build up again. No, I've just left my radio on. Of course it's the World Cup on just now. Just put my radio off. There's some primulas, wee primroses. Oh, stop that. Oh, that's it off now. Yeah, wee primroses, so I decided we didn't have nearly enough of those. So I sowed some seed last year, and I've already planted out about a dozen plants, and there's 15 there, and I've got another, so I've got about another 20 plants ready to plant out. Problem is just finding the right places to put them. But when you grow from seed and you get a large number of plants, it means you can actually experiment. You know, you haven't had to buy it, it's not money gone, it's just a bit of time and seed. So around here we've got this is the really explore how beautiful the weedy garden can be. So we've got Linnaeus in the foreground, the big white daisies, the leucanthemums, more digitalis, and the big tall dandelion-like flowers. I think they are one of the crepus. I struggle with identifying some of these summer flowering dandelion type flowers. The small little yellow ones that are, you see, prolifically all over there, they're Lapsana. communis. I think it's the nipplewort. It's the common name. And they seed around like crazy. But I think they're lovely, these little starry suns dancing above the rest, and you get this lovely effects. So I would say, if you like these things, don't be afraid just to enjoy them, and don't worry about what other people say. I don't care if you or others think my garden's weedy. It's my garden, and in my garden I decide what's weedy. The Silenes here, contrasting with the leucanthemums, growing with the ferns. So all this was created just by scattering some seeds. What we did miss in here was the phase of the bluebells. So all this was bluebells a wee while ago. You will see, if you go to my written bulb log diary on srgc.net, you will find the pictures of in those phases. I did a written diary, but I didn't get around to a video diary. In this bed now we've got this is the phase of the aracemas. So there's aracemas coming. Here you can see one of the wee primulas I've planted out. And I'm looking, oh yes, here we go. Already I can see the next phase is going to be these is Ruscoias. The Ruscoia is just starting to push through. You can see there's more of the umbellifers in here. Umbellifers have that lovely ferny foliage. And these are Myrrhis odorata. So they're not the cow parsley. They're the sweet Sicily. But what is really superb is where you get these superb combinations. So we've got this American iris, so irises. We've got the Lilium pyrenaicum growing here with that is a cow parsley, I can see the going into seed, and the lapsana, and the leucanthemum, and there's ovularia foliage with aracemas poking up through it. And so we get this wonderful can I call it a melody? I suppose I can. It's like a choir, a great choir, with all those different parts being sung together that combine together to make a wonderful, pleasing chord. And that's what I think these plants do. They all come in, bring their own colours, their tones, their shapes, their forms, and make this wonderful, pleasing effect. Robertianum, Geranium Robertianum, seeding around. Lilium pyrenaicum. The one I'm not so keen on, and I do go and try and pull it out, is the other called here in Scotland Sticky Willies. It's a Gallium. I'll have to come back when I've more hands. There's no point in trying to pull it all out when I'm trying to do a video as well, but I'll keep pulling it out, and you never get it all, and you only need one plant to seed for you to have a whole batch of seedlings again next year. So round this side there's some more troughs, saxifrages. These troughs were quite colourful earlier on, but all the wee flowers have gone over. and it just becomes a complete jungle. From the other side we've got this bed with there. Down there you can see the primroses, Primula vulgaris, Myris odorata leaves, the Arisemas, the Silenes, the Lipsana getting everywhere. Leucanthemum, Aquilegias, all popping and seeding around. And here we've got more lilies. These are Lilium martigans. They'll flower later, coming through the dicentra. More Arisemas in there. And coming up to the gravel, oh how I remember all the years we tried to keep this clear and free of plants. And from the very start we were fighting a losing battle. So we've got this other Silenes up here. There's other geraniums. And a whole bunch of self-seeded orchids. All looking. This one down here has got some brown leaves, but it's had those last year. But it didn't kill the plant. So I'm hopeful, and the flower stems look fairly clean and it looks quite robust. So I'll leave it to seed in the hope that that's one of the ones that gives some tolerance, because the other ones across there are mostly seeded, possibly from that plant. And they look fairly resistant at the moment. So Salmisias, different Salmisias. And up here again we've got the same sort of mixture as geraniums, different geraniums. We've got the peonies, self-seeding around, a big valerianian. It's the height of me. I mean, well, almost the height of me. Lovely big leaves, these lovely flowers. The flowers are going over, it's starting to go into seed now. But they're great. And then where all the erythroniums were on the wall is now becoming a mass of digitalis. So the erythroniums are still there, they're perfectly happy. If anything, these plants that are seeding around the weedies, they're using up the moisture, and so the bulbs don't get excessively wet if we get a very wet period. And it's just very wild and woolly. Big willow gentian. There's some seedlings of that down in the path here around my feet as well. So this is an area in there where it gets very, very dry, and you need special plants that will take the dryness. So I'm bringing in more of the weedy species. Early in the year it's fine, it's full of the spring bulbs because they grow while the moisture's in the ground. But then as we go into summer, that's even in when we get quite a lot of rain, it's under a lot of trees and shrubs. So And so that's a view of the garden at this time of year. Well, we have all sorts nestled about. It's a wonderful mixture. What I've just seen here, very dark flower, and this is the thing, there's so much, there's surprises, even I'm surprised about what I find. There's a roscoia in flower, and amongst ferns and all sorts of stuff there. Trilliums, leaves, and erythroniums, seed pods. And of course down below we've got the colours and the wee flowers. And then you go up through the acers, the lower acers, the tree peonies, some of the bigger rhododendrons, and then up top to the canopy of the trees, bigger acers. And there's probably a good enough place to just wander back up the path. And sign off here. Say goodbye. From the weedy garden. The weedy gardener. Thanks for staying with me. If you've stayed to the end, I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time when I get round to another video when time permits and there's something interesting to show you. So I just say, open your garden, open your mind, allow some of the weeds in, don't be worried about them, and never worry about what other people think. It's about what you think. And if you like it, you're happy with it, that's all that matters. Well, I've just seen one more thing. As I turned to my right, I didn't win, and so we've got more aconites, we've got more of the cow parsley, so the anthruscus, and there's the fuzzy head of our Rodgersia, and you can see the big Rodgersia leaves in the background. So plants from all countries, just like in the World Cup, where all countries come together to celebrate. In this garden, the plants from all over come together and just celebrate being able to grow and being allowed to grow. You are allowed to grow them. So goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your gardens.